Welcome to the Stoic Golden Tribe, where enduring wisdom meets the strength of presence, and where we uncover the truths modern society refuses to teach men. Today we're going to reveal 10 hidden female weaknesses men need to know now, but not to manipulate, not to hurt, but to truly understand women on a deeper level. Because knowledge is power, but wisdom is how you wield that power responsibly. Too many men are lost in confusion about women's behavior. They're told to be nice, to ignore their instincts, to submit to modern myths that deny ancient truths about desire, trust, and loyalty. But here, we don't lie to ourselves. We face the truth head-on, even if it's uncomfortable. We study timeless lessons from history, philosophy, and the psychology of attraction to build stronger, more authentic relationships. If you're ready to see through the illusions and become the kind of man women truly respect, desire, and cherish, not because you trick them, but because you understand them, then stay with me, because what you're about to hear will challenge you, enlighten you, and maybe even set you free. Before we begin, do me one favor: like, share, and subscribe to the Stoic Golden Tribe so you never miss the wisdom that modern society refuses to teach you. And be sure to comment your thoughts below. Let's keep this brotherhood alive. Now let's begin. Chapter 1. The power of emotional influence and how it can be used against you. We begin with the most underestimated force in a woman's arsenal: emotional influence. It's not a weakness in the traditional sense, but when misunderstood, it becomes the most vulnerable part of the male psyche. Throughout history, great empires have crumbled not by sword or fire, but by seduction. Men, distracted by beauty and blinded by affection, surrendered power, dignity, and judgment. Helen of Troy, Cleopatra, Delilah, these women didn't use brute force, they used emotion, and men handed them kingdoms. Here's the truth: a woman's ability to create emotional impact is both instinctual and strategic. She knows when to praise you to make you feel like a king, and when to withhold attention to make you feel like a beggar. Most men, unaware of this, chase harder when affection is withdrawn. They mistake silence for mystery, moodiness for depth. They overcompensate. They apologize for things they didn't do. This is where many fall, thinking love is proven by sacrifice, not by standards. But understand this: emotion is her battlefield. You cannot outfeel her. She has lived in the realm of emotion since girlhood. You will not win by reacting. You win by remaining centered. Stoicism is not detachment, it is mastery over your reactions. You feel deeply, but you choose when and how to respond. That is masculine power. Women are not attracted to emotional chaos, they are attracted to emotional command. A man who listens without being manipulated, a man who understands feelings without being drowned by them. A man who can say, "I understand you're upset, but I will not be punished for something I didn't do." That one sentence can break emotional manipulation instantly, because it speaks of a man who knows his worth and respects himself even when affection is on the line. But let me be clear, this is not about declaring war on women. It's about understanding that emotional influence is one of their deepest, unconscious habits. And as a man, you must remain aware, steady, and clear-headed. Many modern men were never taught this. They were told that to be a real man means to constantly validate, appease, and chase. But ancient wisdom tells another story. In Taoist philosophy, the yin, feminine, moves, flows, changes, while the yang, masculine, remains still, steady, grounded. This doesn't mean cold, it means unshakable. A woman respects a man she cannot emotionally control. And ironically, once she knows you cannot be shaken, her affection becomes more consistent, not less. Her tests decrease. Her chaos softens. Why? Because your calm becomes her safety. Don't fight emotion, don't fear it, but never let it dictate your direction. Hold the wheel with steady hands, no matter how strong the storm. That's how ancient captains crossed the seas. That's how wise men kept kingdoms from ruin. And that's how modern men must navigate love today. Drop a comment below sharing a time you held your ground or lost it in the face of emotional tests. Your story could be the lesson another man needs today. Chapter 2. The hidden power of attention and why she craves it. Let's talk about another subtle, often misunderstood female weakness: attention. It's not superficial vanity, it's a deep-rooted need shaped by both biology and culture. From ancient times, a woman's social value was tied to her ability to attract. Survival, security, and even influence depended on being seen, desired, chosen. That instinct is still alive today, even if society wants to deny it. Modern social media is living proof. Instagram likes, Snapchat streaks, TikTok dances. They're not just trends, they're manifestations of an ancient need to be noticed, to be validated. Now here's the hidden truth most men miss. Attention is currency in the world of women. It's the coin she trades, spends, saves, and invests. But attention is only valuable when it's scarce. A man who gives unlimited, unearned attention cheapens its value. She will not respect it. She cannot. Because deep down, women know that attention easily given is attention easily taken away. That is why women often test men by withdrawing affection or acting distant. They want to see, will you panic and chase, or will you stand firm and keep your value? Ancient wisdom warned men about this. In Roman times, philosophers advised young men to keep a certain mystery, a sense of self-possession. Why? Because even then it was understood that familiarity without standards breeds contempt. Women respect men who understand the economy of attention, who give it generously when earned, but refuse to spray it everywhere like cheap perfume. Ask yourself honestly, have you ever been too eager, too available, too willing to bend over backwards at the first sign of beauty? We've all done it. It feels noble in the moment, but in her eyes it screams, I have no options, I have no standards, choose me, please. The truly powerful man knows better. He doesn't withhold attention to punish, he controls it to preserve its worth. He pays attention deliberately, like an artist, adding strokes to a masterpiece. He knows that when he praises her, it means something because he doesn't praise blindly. This is not about playing games, it's about living with standards. And women crave men with standards, even if they protest. Because deep down, they know such men can protect, lead, and build. Such men won't be swayed by every temptation. Such men are trustworthy. When you give your attention with intention, you force her to step up, to show value, to invest back. It's an invitation to real connection, not shallow flattery. And here's a hard truth. Many women don't even realize they crave this. They'll say they want a nice guy who gives them everything, but they'll desire the man who makes them earn it. Because earned love is valued love. This isn't cruelty, it's respect, for her and for yourself. Attention is a gift. Treat it like gold, give it carefully, and watch how the world, and the women in it, change the way they see you. Drop a comment below if you've ever learned the hard way about giving too much attention, and how you changed. Let's help each other grow. Chapter 3. The Test of Boundaries. Why women push limits to find strength. Now let's talk about one of the most confusing female behaviors, and the third hidden weakness men need to know: testing boundaries. Many men see this as irrational. They ask, why does she pick fights? Why does she question my decisions? Why does she act like she wants to break the rules I set? But here's the truth, she's not always doing it consciously. She's looking for proof of strength. Throughout history, women had to choose partners who could protect them, not just with physical might, but with leadership, discernment, and unwavering principles. Ancient tribes didn't survive because the chief caved at the first protest. They survived because he set rules and enforced them fairly. Women push boundaries because they need to know, are you the man who can hold the line when it matters? They don't want to be led by someone who apologizes for having standards. They want a man who knows when to say no. But modern men have been taught to fear female disapproval, to think that love means never upsetting her, to believe a real man always says yes. This has led to weak, passive, resentful men. Men who think they're being kind, but who are simply afraid. And women sense it. Even if they can't articulate it, they feel it in their bones. And here's where the ancient wisdom comes in. The Stoics said, if you wish to be loved, love rightly. If you wish to be respected. Chapter 4. The fear of losing you, the weakness she'll never admit. Now we arrive at one of the most deeply hidden female weaknesses. It's not one she'll ever say out loud, not to her friends, not to you. Maybe not even to herself. It's the fear of losing you, not the version of you that chases, pleads, and gives everything away, but the man who knows his worth, the man who can walk away. Because here's the truth. Women don't fear losing a man they control. They fear losing a man they respect. Most women are used to being pursued. They're used to men folding, negotiating, begging for another chance. They expect that they are the prize, and men will fight to earn their attention. But when a man flips that dynamic, when he steps into his masculine authority, when he says with quiet strength, "I will love you, but I will not lose myself to keep you," that's when her entire emotional system shifts. This isn't about arrogance, it's about sovereignty. A man who knows he doesn't need her to survive becomes the man she fears losing the most, because suddenly her beauty is not enough. Her games don't work. Her validation isn't the fuel that powers his self-worth. She starts to ask herself, what happens if I lose him? What if he means it when he says he's done? What if he actually values himself enough to walk away? That fear, quiet, deep, and unspoken, is one of her greatest emotional vulnerabilities, and it is only triggered by the man who is whole without her. In ancient Greece, the philosophers spoke of the concept of ataraxia, a state of serene independence, freedom from being disturbed by external things. It wasn't coldness, it was power rooted in stillness. Apply that to love, apply that to dating, and you become unstoppable, because when you walk in your purpose, when your energy isn't frantic, when you can let her go rather than lose yourself, that's when she looks at you with new eyes. Not like the others, not like the men she could bend or break, but like a man she must rise up to meet. And here's the final truth many never realize. A woman cannot truly fall in love with you until she fears losing you, because only then does she see you as something rare. Only then does she realize this isn't a game. Only then does she respect your presence enough to protect it. So many men spend their energy trying to hold on, trying to impress, trying to win her over again and again. But what if the secret was not holding on harder, but letting go when needed? What if your strength wasn't in what you give, but in what you refuse to give up, your dignity, your mission, your masculinity? Women desire the man who walks his path, who invites her in, but never chases if she walks out. That man becomes unforgettable because he cannot be bought, he cannot be shaken, he cannot be manipulated. And whether she admits it or not, that's the man she fears losing the most. Drop a comment below if you've reached the point where you finally let go and became stronger because of it. Your journey matters more than you know.